STALKER series is a survival horror game that adopts the first-person shooter genre, set in the Zone, a region that experiences supernatural events and mysterious mutations after a second explosion. The Zone is a fictional place formed after a second explosion at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. Undoubtedly, the Metro series comes to mind first when talking about STALKER, because they are very similar experiences with both their tense environments and dangerous action sequences. STALKER 2 arrives 14 years after the first game and features the graphics, open-world design, and gameplay systems that impressed fans with the first game. Developed by Ukraine-based GSC Game World, the game has been delayed several times due to the ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine. Despite this, the studio has continued to work to bring STALKER 2 to players, and the game will finally be released later this year. First of all, it should be said that Heart of Chernobyl is a new adventure that does not require players to have any prior knowledge of the series. It is preparing to face players by evolving the challenging game mechanics of the original game. You need to survive in the dangers of the Zone, learn and avoid risks, and collect resources, materials, and equipment. The developer first revealed STALKER 2 to fans at Summer Game Fest 2024. The first thing that stood out here was how impressive the game looked. The game's high-quality graphics, advanced character models, and incredible environmental detail create an extremely dark, menacing, and tense atmosphere that immediately puts the player on edge. STALKER 2 quickly makes you feel how dangerous the situation in the Zone is, even after you pick up your first weapon. The Zone contains many events that are beyond your control or knowledge, but the character you play, Skiff, seems to have a goal from the very beginning. Of course, the threats in the game are not limited to armed people. You also need to be constantly careful against harmful radiation sources, mysterious anomalies that suddenly overwhelm you, and mutated monsters. It is quite clear that the studio has made a great effort to develop STALKER 2 in a way that is worthy of the series, both visually and atmospherically, and as a result, an experience that is both impressive and frightening awaits us. One of the things that contributes to the sense of danger is that the hero doesn't actually have much to do with the action. You're not like Master Chief or the Doomslayer here, you're just an ordinary person, and everything you encounter poses a mortal danger. The game's controls also emphasize this fragility. The mechanics of movement and aiming make it easy to remind you that you're carrying a lot of equipment, that weapons are inherently cumbersome, and that ordinary people can't jump meters high. Beyond that, there are certain elements that players need to monitor regularly, such as hunger levels, fatigue, and equipment. There are different ways to continue using the character effectively, so the difficulty of STALKER 2 doesn't just come from the difficulty of the enemies. According to the developer, the game wasn't intentionally designed to be too easy, as the goal is for players to explore, gain experience, and overcome challenges. However, STALKER 2 prefers to guide you gently throughout the adventure, but you are mostly free. So sometimes you have to figure out the new control mechanics on your own. Towards the end of the demo version of the game, you encounter a frighteningly fast and powerful enemy who can be almost completely invisible. In the early morning light, it is almost impossible to notice this enemy in the shadows among the surrounding vegetation and debris. This fight alone reminds gamers that exploring the Zone is definitely not an ordinary experience. The game is only a few months away from release, but we can already see what a challenging and impressive adventure it will be. The character models are incredibly detailed, the Zone is full of danger, and the complex combat systems are fierce. The studio now only needs to focus on ironing out the final kinks and fixing the bugs found in the demo. STALKER 2 will be available to Xbox and PC gamers in November. It will also be added to the PC Game Pass library on day one.